The Means to an End by its _ Kingston on AO3. Episode 12, Chapter 7. A 2-day hike, you said it was? Uraraka asked. She stepped around a dip in the ground, a place where rainwater had flowed down the mountain time and time again, where the mount of rock and dirt peak was snow white, though whether that was due to the chilling temperatures or clouds that simply got caught on its jagged top was anyone's guess. Correct, Shigaraki said. I'll make this trip every time we go home. He was walking ahead of the group, one satchel slung over his shoulders. He and Ochako were the only two of the group who hadn't picked up another satchel. Even Dabi, who balanced Kiego on the talon leather of his glove, had looped a second bag around his other shoulder. Shigaraki had simply passed his second bag off to Spinner, who sighed and accepted it. Uraraka felt bad for watching him carry 3 satchels, but he made that look light, even with his sword strapped to his back. Uraraka's second satchel had been picked up by Toga, who grinned at her as she hoisted the third bag onto her shoulders, in an attempt to show off if Uraraka had ever seen one. She looked behind her at Toga now, who appeared to be struggling with the 3. Unlike Spinner, she lacked the muscle to carry them easily. So I suppose we'll be camping up here? Uraraka said eagerly. Her smile lifted as she kept walking up the base of the mountain, doing her best to stay within the footsteps of the leading members. Mm-hmm. Jin replied, We've got a fine clearing about 3/4 of the way up. You best not cause us to fall short of it and force us to sleep in an unsecure location. I won't, Uraraka said. Jin gave a smile and a nod in return before looking back to the trail in front of him. Uraraka supposed the semi-flattened ground, the areas where the weeds had been backed up and the small rocks kicked from the path, was from the Legion's travel up this cliffside. A scuffle behind her caused Uraraka to turn around, eyes drawn to Toga, who hissed in pain upon stepping in a divot. Uraraka furrowed her brows, mouth drawing into a worried line. She stopped following the group and instead walked back to where Toga stood on one foot, experimentally rolling her raised ankle. Are you all right? Uraraka asked. She moved a hand to Toga's elbow, steadying the woman as she repositioned her satchels and tested the weight. Back on the injury. Yes, it's nothing terrible, just a hole in the ground, Toga said. Can I carry the third satchel? You look to be struggling a bit. Uraraka said softly. Toga looked up from the ground to her. It's all right, I can handle this. I'm much stronger than I appear. I'm well aware, Uraraka said, a giggle making its way from her throat. That was quite the vice grip you had on me this morning. I didn't think I would be able to get out of the blanket had you not chosen to let me go. Toga grinned, her cheeks flushed. It was the pestering of the others, not my own will, that caused me to release you. Do not confuse the two. Uraraka let out an amused huff, bumping her shoulder against Toga's. Neither here nor there. Let me carry the satchels. I have but one, while you trouble yourself carrying 3. It is nothing, Ochako, Toga said, her smile dampening slightly, eyebrows lowering. I'm not to assimilate it is. I merely want to help you, Uraraka replied. She stepped in front of Toga, hand pressed to the other woman's shoulder. I wouldn't want to see you injured because of this. We've got quite the distance to travel. It'll be up cloth of me to leave you to it extra time. Toga's hand raised to the straps fastened the third satchel around the back of her neck, index fingers tapping against it slowly. It'll not bother you. Of course not. You said it yourself last night, though perhaps your mind was elsewhere at the moment. We both need to pull our weight here. I wish to help just as much as you do, if not more, to prove myself, Uraraka said firmly. She held out her other hand, palm up, waiting. Toga relented, lifting the straps from her neck and putting the satchel into Uraraka's hand. You need not prove yourself to them, she pointed out towards the group, making their way up the path carved into the mountainside. Look at them. Our mighty leader practically begged his swan to carry his share. Uraraka shifted the satchel, angling it properly, up her shoulder and adjusting the added weight of it. That is true. I meant to prove myself worthy of traveling alongside you. Though them regarding me, well, would not be terrible. Worthy of traveling alongside me? Toga asked, her voice quiet, eyes wide. Uraraka nodded once, her hand braced against Toga's shoulder, moving to wrap lovingly around it. She leaned in, pressed a kiss to the woman's cheek. Of course, it's only natural, Uraraka said softly. She pulled away, turning to continue walking behind the group that disappeared some ways up the trail. Uraraka was glad Toga was with her. If not for her companionship, then to guide her if the Legion had made it too far. Let us go, I cannot see them any longer. A hand fit into hers, warm and easy, and the pair were off. The trek up the mountain was a lengthy one. The group had watched the sun as it drifted over them, tracking their progress as they watched them, making sure their way up Earth formed. But Uraraka had kept pace with the Legion's members, and Toga had fared better after giving up the third pack she carried. Together, the pair walked along the beaten paths, stepping through patches of weeds that had been pushed far enough back to fully give away their territory. By the time the six of them, and Kego, made it to the campsite, the sun was beginning to leave them. Content with resting below the edge of the distant forest they'd come from. We're here, Dobby said, with a glance over his shoulder. He removed both of his packs, careful of knocking a curious Kego from his arm, and set them down in the clearing. The others had followed suit, ditching their packs on the dusty ground and began to make their way to the fire pit positioned near the center. The clearing itself was rather barren, the only attribute to protest beginning the dig the Legion members had carved out for the fire. The rest nothing more than flattened dirt piles and rocks tossed away. Trees were far, far sparser on top of the mountains than at its base, causing the area bordering the campsite to be populated solely by the shrubbery and small animals that resided within. And for that, I am thankful, Jin said. He ditched a satchel near the fire pit and tore a blanket from the other before dropping it. Quickly, he found himself settled near, warmed by a fire that was yet to be brought to life. Dobby, if you could. It is not as though I am the only one who could start a fire, the man replied. He reached down towards the satchel and revealed a bag of seeds. Some was poured into the ground, and Kego fluttered from his glove to eat it before Dobby could begin to coax him down. No longer having to balance his falcon, Dobby slipped his gloves from his arm and started towards the edge of the clearing. One of you assist me in fetching a starter for this fire? Shigaraki made a noise of acknowledgement and followed behind him, both waddling into the bushes to find dry leaves and anything of the sorts. I suggest an early sleep tonight, Spinner began. We rise early tomorrow, for we must be halfway down the mountain by the time the sun peaks. His three satchels hit the ground shortly after, all drawing a cloud of dust up from the loose soil. Jin glared up at him, through coughs, though Spinner only bit back a laugh. For what? Uraraka asked. Her satchel followed Toga to the ground, all four being piled nearby. Uraraka hoped that they could claim a spot near the fire, though she would not complain if she was given more of a reason to hold Toga closer when the chill of the night settled in. There's a village built into the other side of this mountain, Spinner explained. Every week, wagons have to leave it and venture towards the kingdom of Achi, building along the coast for fish. Our home lies far off their path, yet we hitch a ride for part of the way. It will save us the energy. We do this every time. You need not worry, Ochako, Toga said preemptively, her hand founding Uraraka's shoulder, and the princess smiled at her. Quite the troublesome bunch, she said playfully, parting a grin from Toga. Of course. Dobby and Shigaraki re-emerged from the flowers and weeds moments later. Dead plants, stems, and bunches of old leaves cluttered their hands. A groan spilled from Dobby's lips as he plopped down beside the fire pit. I find myself ready to chop a tree of the forest at the mountain base and carry it up, if only to be able to cease scoundering the area for dead dandelions to fuel our fire. Jin chuckled at that, though stopped when Dobby turned a scowl to him. I'll look with you next time, Jin said, and the scowl ceased. They sat in silence as the fire was lit by Dobby, rocks pushed together until they spiraled on the dry plant stems and set of leaves ablaze. Spinner sat near the fire, his arms tucked around him, Shigaraki close by his side. Jin was already asleep, if the way he was sprawled across the ground was any indication, his chest rising and falling in time with the shores that washed over this area. I'll take first watch, Dobby announced to the group. Through his gaze was pointedly. I'll take first watch, Dobby announced to the group, though his gaze was pointedly on Shigaraki. Sleep, leader. The lot of us know that you'll be good to get more of it. Spinner laughed, slinging his arm around the man's shoulder. Correct. You took my shift last night. You'd be best off sleeping now. I can manage both of our watches tonight. It is little known, but leaders need far less sleep than other group members. I can handle my own shift, though I have no quorums with you taking first watch, Dobby. Shigaraki decided. He leaned his head on Spinner's shoulder, eyes focused on the jump the fire made, the embers that drafted carelessly down the mountain, dying out on the wind. I suppose we shall set up our spot for the night, then? Uraraka said, looking over at Toga. Near the fire along the others? Toga asked as she crouched beside one of the satchels Uraraka had carried up. She pulled a pair of folded blankets from it and passed one to Uraraka as she stood. Uraraka nodded in reply. I'd rather enjoy the warmth of the fire, especially if we intend to keep it alive through the night. We do, Dobby said. We did not the previous night due to the trees. They blocked the wind well enough to keep most of the chill from us, so the fire wasn't necessary. Whoever is awake for their watch will need to fetch more tinder and tend the fire. Shigaraki made a slight noise, perhaps indication he heard it in his sleep-added state, though Jin certainly had not. Dobby looked to them, then up towards the rest of the group. The order for tonight. Who am I waking up when I sleep? Dobby asked. Me, Spinner said. And I'll cover for Toya as well. No need, Uraraka said. You can wake me then. I wish to help too. Toga looked at her, a smile growing on her face. Yes, we will take watch after you, Spinner. I will wake Jin then and give him instructions to wake Shigaraki if we are not all awake to leave by then. All right, Dobby said. Rest easy, loathsome bunch. Uraraka. The woman in question stirred, eyes cracking open, blinking up at the orange glow of the fire. Before her crouched Spinner. He had a knee planted in the dirt, his body hunched towards her. Yes? She murmured, lifting a hand to rub the sleep from her eyes. Toga shifted as she did. Uraraka felt her hands fist in the back of her shirt. Attempting to pull her closer, Uraraka fought back a smile as she began sitting up slightly, vision becoming more clear. Spinner sighed. Finally! I've been attempting to wake you up for some time. You must have never ventured out. A heavy sleeper of you. I've never left my home until now, Uraraka revealed. I'll have Himiko to thank for that. Hearing her name, Toga sat up. It is your turn to take watch, as you said you would, Spinner said. He stood, dusting his pants off as he made his way back towards the fire. Uraraka nodded, though Spinner's back was to her. As she climbed for her blanket, she lifted it to drape it over Toga, but the rogue stood too. I told you I would take watch alongside you. If not to make sure all goes well, then simply to be with you. Toga exclaimed. She smiled, eyes lit up by the glow of the fire, and Uraraka felt as though someone had tossed her heart into the fire as kindling. It would not catch, though, for only the dead and dry worked as tinder. But Uraraka's heart was alive and racing as she smiled back at Toga. Thank you, Uraraka said. I appreciate your company. Lovebirds, Spinner called, He made a gesture for them to quit dawdling and come to the fire alongside him. I gathered tinder solely ago, but we will likely need more as the wind tried to put out our fire. Understood. I'll assist her if she knows not how to keep the fire going, Toga said. Spinner, satisfied, nodded once and retreated to where Shigaraki now laid. He settled himself behind the man and threw an arm over him. Rest easy. Shigaraki must have been awake, for his hand moved to tangle with Spinner's. Well, thus begins our uneventful watch, Toga said. She took a seat near the fire and picked up the large stick Jin had hiked up with the mountain, poked the fire with its charred end. The fire fizzled in his, drawing to its full height like a wild beast before simmering back down. Toga watched it quietly. Uraraka positioned herself beside her, leaning her head on Toga's shoulder, and watched the fire, happy to be in her presence. When the fire had burned enough to begin needing more tinder, Toga tapped Uraraka awake. The princess sat up, blinking her eyes open once again. I'd have woken you sooner, but you seemed at peace, and you're quite beautiful that way. So I cannot bring myself to, Toga said. Alas, we need fuel, and you're asleep on my shoulder. You should have woken me up, Uraraka said. She stretched her arms high above her head, hands curling into fists. Toga stood up, rolling her shoulders as though it was stiff, before helping Uraraka up. Toga hummed. Perhaps, but one of us is needed awake at all times. There's no harm in letting you acclimate slowly to this life. You need not to be tired necessarily. Now to the wheats? With a nod from Uraraka, the pair was off towards the border of the campsite. Farther from the fire, the chill was apparent, as was the dimming lights. Uraraka's eyes grew used to the moonlight within a few moments, though. The moon, full far above their heads. Sounds were sharper in the dark, she quickly noted, for every ruffle of shrubbery beneath them, or a bunch of fabric sounded as though their end was stalking them from behind rock piles shaped like creatures of the night. Toga's hand pressed into hers, which was a reminder of their goal here, and had Uraraka picking up her pace. The inner areas, close to the fire, were picked clean by the three men who were searching for tinder earlier. So the pair wandered further from the clearing in search of new fuel. Uraraka crouched her hand, swiping up a brown-looking weed, one colored with death and dry as bone. A small patch of them lay nearby, so the pair got to work picking them. What do you think makes them all die like this? Toga asked as they plucked the weeds and plants from the ground. Clumps of earth dangled with their roots, needing to be shaken off. Uraraka replied. She stood, looking around momentarily. The sun rises east, so I suppose it has to do with the formation here. It slightly blocks the sun. Toga hummed thoughtfully, dropping her collected timber into a pile and jumping on top of the rock formation. Seems likely enough, as I cannot see them from here. Come, take a look. Smiling, Uraraka unsteadily climbed the side of the formation and stood beside Toga, looking down at the little thorny field. The rock pile was hardly tall, not nearly as tall as Uraraka's tower, but well on it. She felt taller, and the world itself. It made her heart spin with something light and easy. Nothing like the sinking dread that filled her stomach when she resided in her tower, for this hadn't a single similarity. Where the tower blocked out the wind, Uraraka could feel it all the way around her, riding across her clothes and through her hair. Where the tower blocked out the noise of the night, Uraraka could hear them also clearly, echoing off the mountains she stood on and making their way to her ears. Pleasant. Where the tower blocked out the night sky with a pointed roof, Uraraka could look up and see it all now. Take in every splotch of color and pinpoint star, each distant sparkle and connecting line. It was beautiful. Uraraka let her hand drift up, far above her head, grasping for the stars. Rather than laugh, Toga simply did the same, her arm up, hand opening and closing as if she were just close enough to snatch one from the sky. I'm pulling an all-nighter. I'm pulling an eyeliner. That's all I'm gonna say. It is not any atrocious time. It is actually about to be 1 p.m. and I'm starting to feel the sleepiness and drowsiness. But it's not enough so it's like I'm slowly falling asleep, but it is enough where it's like I'm sleepy and I want to sleep, but it's like it's not hitting me fully. I know that tonight's sleep is going to be absolutely fucking amazing. I'm going to try to fall asleep around 6. That should fix up my schedule right up. Yes, it'll fix it up right up. Or I could take a nap. No, if I take a nap now, I will never wake up. So I'm gonna try to fall asleep around 6, 7. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be lucky if I make it a 5. No, I'll make it. Yeah, I'll make it. Maybe. I hope. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Anyways, this was really cute. I like that Uraraka is trying to pull her weight. Part of me thinks that, yeah, Toga definitely took up that third saddle just to show off. Just be like, look how strong I am. Chaka, look at that. I'm super strong. Super, super duper strong. So, like, kiss me. Where is the smooch? Kingston, it is chapter 7. Where is the smooch? I am expecting a smooch soon. But no smooches has been happening in this situation. Where are the snooches? Kingston? Where are my snooches? Kingston? My snooches. Please and thank you. Okay, anyways. Enough on that. Alright. Yes, today it launches. Sorry, I had to think in my head. I need to do a whole video announcing it. I would just do a community post, but like I want to do like a whole video announcing it. Right, just announce it. Just announce it. But I have started my merch. I have a merch shop. I had an actual physical website that was, obviously this is still a website. But I had an actual more customized website that I was working on and doing it. And then I got sick and tired. And by sick and tired, I mean, literally, why do they make it so fucking hard to do shipping and billing and all that shit and taxes, specifically taxes and shipping, right? So I wasn't able to manage it correctly, so that literally the only way I found to fix it is to keep it just in America. And I wanna have it open for international, considering the fact that according to my analytics and a lot of the fans that I talk to in Discord, I have fans from multiple different areas. From the UK, I have someone from fucking Norway. Yeah, that one is a shocker. From the UK, actually, most of my viewers I think is from the UK, if I remember correctly on the statistic. Let me just check. I could check right here. Community. I think it's in community. Was it an analytics? I think it was an analytics. Here, audience. It was around here. I can also tell when you guys are almost always here. I post. There's one slot that is you're always available in those times and stuff like that, where like most of you are active on those times. Oh, here. Geographic, right? So for the most part, I do have a big demographic here in the United States, but there's a lot of people in the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Australia. What the fuck? What are y'all doing there? Okay. Actually, no, wait, Germany? No words. I get Canada. I get Australia. I get the United Kingdom. But Germany? Okay. Subscriber who's turned on all notifications for your travel and all notifications for your channel and enabled YouTube. Oh, that's actually a lot of people. I'm actually shocked. Subscribe, not subscribe. I'm actually gonna like that. Watch time from subscribers and non-subscribers. It's 50-50, but I have more subscribers. I like that. I'm not gonna trust the age gap thingy because according to here, most of you are 18 to 24. But we all know people lie. So, who knows? Or who knows? Maybe you guys didn't lie. It's YouTube. So, who knows? Maybe you didn't lie. Apparently I have a 65-plus-year-old, so I know damn well that person lied. Unless you're a grandpa. And if so, I'm sorry. But also, serve. Be a boss bitch. Whoever you are, they, he, them, serve. I thrive to be you one day. And I'm glad that there's someone out there like that. One day I will too. If you are really 65 and up, even if you're just 65, there's no way you're gonna make it for the time that I'm old. And I'm thinking around 70, 80. That's when I peak in grandma years. Grandpa years, grandma years, oldie years. And by peak, I mean, by that time, I want people to know I read AO3 on a regular basis. I don't care if it's no longer cool. Fandom will always be cool. Let me be honest. AO3 is gonna outlive all of us. But, yeah. Anyways, enough of that. I'm sleepy. You're getting sleepy, Echo. Okay. Woo! Okay, merch. I have a lot of stuff out. Mainly it's mugs, magnets, stickers, pins, and glass cups. Those are really cool. For the most part right now, it's mainly just storm-themed merch for now. I'm thinking of having more me-themed merch. No, I'm not putting my face on a what's it called? On a cup. By me-themed things, it's like, I guess, like, you see rain or something. Something rain or storm. Or not storm my cap, but like rain, raindrops, something in that sorts. I still have not figured out how the fuck I would do Echo, so I'm not even gonna try on that. I do plan on releasing Valentine's Day merch, and for the most part, I do think that those are gonna be limited edition. They might come around every Valentine's. I might not, like, exclusively make other ones. I think the only thing in the drop of the Valentine's Day stuff that I kind of want to keep is the fanfic tag sticker set. I want to start that, a fanfiction sticker set. I don't know how we'll do that. It'll be really small though. I have to figure out the logistics. It might not be a sticker set, and it might just be stickers where I want it to be AO3 tags, but like themed. Like, for example, inks could be like a knife. Fluff can be, I don't know, a pillow? Yeah, it could be a pillow. A stuffed animal, right? Themed by that, with like the words fluff on it. And like the words inks on that knife. Crack could literally just be a pill. Get it? Stuff like that. Or like enemies to lovers could be, what could enemies to lovers be? I would say a sword. Oh my god, a heart with a sword impaled. Major character death could be a tombstone. Stuff like that, where it's like themed and it's like really cool. Like some of them are going to be a little more abstract. Like for example, fantasy, I'm thinking like a potion. Oh, that was not that abstract. Never mind. Stuff like that, right? Where it's like, oh, it correlates. It makes sense. Fix It Fic could be a hammer. Could be a hammer. Again, but these are all things that I'm still working on. But some of the things that I kind of want to do for the Valentine's release is puzzles. A puzzle, right? With like storm on it. And like some really cute hearts all around. Like make it a little, you know, festive. I think the regular version of the puzzle is just going to be just that very same storm. But instead of hearts, it's going to be, you know, some other stuff. I do want notebooks out there. Like storm-themed notebooks with like hearts and like really cute stuff. Greeting cards. I do want to make like little cute Valentine's greeting cards with cat pun pickup lines. I'm definitely going to be DMing my significant other to see stuff like that. Pin sets. These are going to be limited. I might keep them till like March. It'll be March and the Valentine's Day stuff is still going to be there. I don't think I'm going to do March. I don't think I'm going to do like green. Not this year. Alright, not this year. For April, I'm not gonna do Easter. Yeah, I'm not gonna do Easter. I'll do Pride. I definitely am gonna do Pride Month, so do not worry. June is definitely there. I'm gonna do July. And by do July, I mean July is gonna be lemon themed because that is when me and Sunny got together. So that's gonna be lemon themed. August, I don't know. I'll drop a backpack. I'll drop a backpack. I know that's an option. October, I definitely want it to be more like spooky, so I'm definitely gonna do October themed ones, and I might do holiday themed ones, but I think the only holiday theme I'm gonna do is wrapping paper, which, by the way, I'm gonna have so much fun actually making wrapping paper. I can make custom wrapping paper. I know I'm definitely gonna make one to put in the shop, and I'm definitely gonna order a sample, but the sample is not gonna have what the shop's gonna look like. So whenever I sample it, I'm gonna like, hey guys, this is the... I'm also gonna buy samples and stuff like that. Currently, I haven't bought any samples, and even if I did, it would take a while for them to get here, like a week or two, and I'm releasing it today, so, yeah. Anyways, I'm definitely gonna get samples. I know the samples are good because, a friend of mine has worked with this manufacturer, and I have also been researching and stuff like that. I do want to get samples of some stuff. Mainly the thing I need to get samples of are stuff that I want to promote specifically. Like whenever I'm streaming and you can see my face, I want you to see that. Or whenever I'm like, stuff like that where I want you to see the logos and stuff like that. Or not the logos, but like my merch and stuff like that. When I'm walking around, I want to have Storm on my cup. Yep, you heard me, Storm on my cup. Right, but those are stuff that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of a lemon-themed hoodie or something along the sorts. Lemon and stuff. I do want to low-key, like very low-key, want to make a mug, or not even a mug, just anything that has like a storm where it's like raining, but it's raining lemons, and it says in the bottom, when life gives you lemons. Because I find that hilarious. I don't know where I would put it though. If I'm gonna be honest. Should I put that in a shirt? If you guys have any ideas, by the way, with merch ideas and stuff like that, always feel free to tell me. If I do come up with a good idea and you help me out, I'll definitely put your name in the description of the product. Like fan helped me design, and then I'll put your fan name. Whatever you want me to put, your username in Discord and Spotify. What? Not Spotify. I don't know. Maybe you do want that. Maybe you do want that. But like, whatever, stuff like that, right? But for the most part, I'm brainstorming by my lonesome. I do get help by family members and occasionally my friends who I coerce into helping me. Or my significant other. It's their job. It comes in the significant other package. I bought the premium. Right, I didn't just get the basic plan, which is the acquaintance. I didn't get the standard either. I didn't get the best friend. I didn't get the standard. I didn't get the premium either. Right, that would be best friend. Right, so I didn't get the basic because that's just acquaintance. I don't want to just be acquaintance, and I didn't want to get the standard because like it's just friends. Right? But then I didn't want to get the premium because, like, that's just best friends. I want something more. So I got the exclusive, the significant other package. It renews every year. and only one person can have it at a time. So, yeah, I got the exclusive. I'm sorry to all you out there. Deeply, deeply apologize. Oh my god. I could do a Valentine's Day card like that. Hold up, I need to write this down before I forget. Like, asking someone out by, like, saying, like, will you subscribe to my significant other package? Hold up. I'm writing it down. Subscribe, BF/B, no, GF/P package greeting card. I think the only thing I have left is I want to figure out how to add thank you notes to each one. For right now, I think the shipping label has a thank you note on it, but I also want like a little post-it note inside, and I kind of want to change that on a regular basis right? So that one will be changing on a regular basis, hopefully maybe monthly, I'm thinking. And that's not something that you could buy. The only way you get that is if you purchase my shop specifically, right? So you can't just buy that individually. Like whenever you buy something, I want that to also come along, kind of situation and stuff like that. So I'm figuring out how I could do that and stuff. I'm thinking of like a little thank you card. Like we could start off with like a simple basic like thank you card with like a rainy night or something in the background, and then for Valentine's Day just a bunch of hearts, you know, something that's fun and unique that doesn't necessarily have to be merch themed. It's just like a really cute, fun way for me to express myself. I don't know, one day I'm probably gonna put just a picture of Storm. It could be different pictures of Storm, no thank you on it, just a Storm picture. Oh my god, you guys would love that so much more. I know you guys would love that so much more. An exclusive Storm picture that you could only get if you buy from my merch. Oh my god. I'm also seeing to get custom packaging. I need to design that, and I need to figure out what manufacturer, because I would have to get a separate manufacturer from the one I have to then produce the packaging and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that I really want to do, but for now we're starting with the basic, the mugs, the cups, the stickers, the magnets, the pens. For now, I'm starting with the basics, and slowly I'm going to make my merch a whole lot more, you know, cool, a whole lot more better. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll finally hire that goddamn professional to do the website, because I really love the website that I designed. I would love if a professional came in and like fixed it up for me and also made it look really cute and really nice, because right now it's very simplistic. And basically I would just tell them something like, I don't know, rain cat puns. Because right now my original website had a bunch of cat puns everywhere. It was really cute, it was really adorable. I actually really enjoyed it. It was really nice, except obviously I was sick and tired of it because I couldn't figure out the shipping and the shipping and the tax, and the only way I was able to fix that is if I limit how many who can shop from there. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to sacrifice that, right? I wanted you guys to also be able to have the option to you know, shop, right? Because as I said, not all of you are from, you know, the United States, right? And then I also know some people, I don't know, maybe people do say that they're from the United States, but they're not. But like, I know that there's some out of the United States and stuff like that, and I didn't want you guys to get excluded and stuff like that. I kept that in mind. So whenever I have the money to hire a goddamn fucking professional, bet me I'm gonna hire a professional, and I'm gonna be sitting there with them, and I'm gonna be making everything, and it's gonna be super cool. And hopefully once I get a professional, I will also be able to, you know, actually make the mock-ups myself, like the pictures that you see of the things. And I was thinking like a picture of Storm. Storm. You heard me. Storm. Yep. I mean, technically speaking, I am able to do that now. It's just a little difficult, and I'm trying to figure out how. I think you can. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's a certain way that you can. I still have to test it if that way works or not, because technically speaking, the method that I want to use is not necessarily for that. But who's stopping me? Nobody. Exactly. Sorry, this became yapping fest. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.